Hello and welcome to the Microsoft and Engage Squared Gov Address Book webinar. Before we start, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands in which we live and work throughout Australia, and the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people viewing this event today. We pay our respects to elders both past, present and emerging, and recognise and celebrate their ongoing cultures and continuing connection to land, waters and community. Our respect also extends to all First Nation and Indigenous peoples, as well as their ancestral lands. We are grateful to those who have created pathways for us to live with the many benefits we experience today. My name is Gavin Brown, and I'm a Senior Industry Advisor at Microsoft, supporting government clients in both the state and federal jurisdictions solve wicked problems using ours and our partners' technologies. In this session, we'll also be joined by Stephen Monk, the CEO from Engage Square. Stephen will talk about the security and technical aspects of the Gov Address Book solution that we are proposing today. In today's connected world, we continually see disconnection with and across government jurisdictions that can lead to poor service outcomes for citizens and businesses. Most government agencies at the state and federal level use Microsoft Office 365 with Teams as a way to collaborate within an agency or department. However, finding people from other departments can be a real challenge. That's why we developed the Teams Gov Address Book app to help agencies find people across departments and deliver better outcomes. Let's have a look at a quick hypothetical example that illustrates the issue and how it can be easily resolved with the Gov Address Book add-in. A farmer calls in a vet early on Monday morning as some of his livestock seem to have taken ill. The vet quickly identifies what could be a possible case of a disease that could spread very quickly if not contained. The vet goes through their contacts to find who at the local government level they should be notifying. The local government contact then starts to find the right person at the state level who needs to be notified of such disease outbreaks. All this being done on potentially dated spreadsheets where people have changed and new contacts not updated. Some hours later, the correct contact is found and the information passed on. The relevant state agency contact now has to notify their federal counterparts with the same potential legacy challenges. After some searching, they find the right contacts and relay the information. All in all, this process could take up to 2 days, depending on the time of day and the availability of people within agencies. In the meantime, visitors to the farm are now potentially spreading the infection to other farms and increasing the disease exponentially. Before the jurisdictions were connected, then as soon as the vet had contacted the local government authority, they could have instantly searched with granular search capability based on a multitude of configurable options, including departments and role, and found the relevant contact in the state and federal jurisdictions. A Teams PSTN call, video or chat could have been established involving all parties to discuss and verify the issue. This is not fiction. This is functionality here today and available right now. In the rest of this webinar, you'll hear from Stephen, who will talk you through the technical and security aspects of the solution and provide details on key next steps. Over to you, Stephen.
Thanks, Gavin. It's an absolute pleasure to be here to talk to you all about the Gov Address Book, a project that we've been working on with Microsoft and the Western Australian government for a fair while now, but something that's a very common set of requirements for many of our customers, both across government and the public sector more broadly, as well as for many of our corporate customers who often have large landscapes and different teams split into different business units or onto different tenants, but with a real desire to foster greater communication, greater collaboration, greater connection across agencies and departments and businesses in particularly this remote hybrid world that we're working in these days. Before I get into too much detail about the solution, quick introduction from me. As Gavin said, I'm the CEO of Engage Squared. I'm a techie by background, but these days I'm often talking to customers about business problems and the ways in which we can shape Microsoft technology to best solve and streamline and improve the operation of the way that we work within large organizations. We were Microsoft's Partner of the Year in Australia last year, and this year we were really honoured to be named as Microsoft's employee experience partner for worldwide. A huge privilege and recognition of how closely we've been working with Microsoft on projects like Gov Address Book, as well as the rollout of new technologies in the modern workspace, such as Microsoft Viva or Teams. Our organisation works with large organisations across the public sector and corporate space in Australia, New Zealand, and the Asia Pacific to do projects that help to make work better. We sort of think about it in the digital workplace space and really thinking and focusing on employee experience. In business applications, building apps to streamline the way that work's done, make it easier to share information and collaborate and push through workflow and get approval for different decisions. In the information management space, shifting information to the cloud without exposing yourself to risk and enabling productive hybrid and remote working patterns while still staying compliant and being able to easily meet your regulatory and legislative compliance obligations. And finally, our adoption and change management practice, which we've been doing for a really long time, helping to skill up staff within a large organisation and design solutions that are easy to adopt and easy to get the business benefit of increased productivity and increased employee experience from. So very happy to be here to talk to you today about Gov Address Book. As I said, something that we've been working on for a while and a very common set of requirements that we see across our customer base in both the public sector and the corporate sector. The Gov Address Book's been built as a custom Teams application. It's designed to help people in large organisations or small to easily search for and connect with colleagues, both within their own organisation by extending and adding rich features to the people search capability that's already available in Teams, but also make it easier to find people from outside of the organisation in other agencies or other government departments or in our corporate customers in other divisions or business units of their own organisation. For whatever reason, we've got people separated into different tenants where there's a real business need and business benefit to be able to collaborate more effectively together. In the public sector, a bunch of use cases that we've been working through around things like emergency management, where different parts of government are responsible for the execution of and response to different types of emergencies, but often needing to plan together and to collaborate quickly in the moment to be able to respond to a crisis situation and pull people together. Or even in a BAU context where there may be the need to collaborate between, for example, the ambulance service, the police, and some of the legislative and prosecutorial functions of government. Bring those people together, make it easier for you within your role to search for and find the right person within another organisation who you can collaborate with and try to work together more effectively to solve the particular problem you're working on. In the back end, it's powered by Azure Cognitive Search. So you get a really great Google-like experience or Bing-like experience to enable you to find people based on name, role, address book, email address, department, location, to make it easier for you to very quickly find that user that you need to connect with to help you work through and solve the problem that you're on. We've really thought about it carefully from a couple of different aspects. One is the user experience of the solution. So by making it a Teams app, we can pin it and make it a core part of the Teams experience. It looks and it feels and it works like it's a native Microsoft solution, pinned on the personal app bar so that you can quickly access it. And then undertake a powerful search experience. Once you've found the person that you want to collaborate with, you can tap their profile and find out a bit more information about them if they've chosen to share that with you. And then with one click, initiate a Teams call, send a Teams chat message, book in a calendar event, schedule a meeting, or send an email. Or even if you're on your mobile phone, initiate a normal, ordinary, plain telephone call as well, all from the same app from within Teams. We've also thought about it from a different angle, which is making sure this information is secure, because we know across public sector, but also in our corporate customers, that security of this sort of information is really paramount. And we don't want to expose this information or your organisation to the risk of data leakage. So setting up this application is reasonably straightforward, but it's really simple to make sure that it stays secure and that we can respect the wishes of every individual within our organisation by allowing them to have the power to share certain information with certain third parties without oversharing. So installation of the Gov Address Book can be done in one of two ways. We've posted the code onto GitHub, and so a technical administrator can deploy this solution into your environment, and you can host it yourself on your own Azure tenancy with just a couple of clicks from the GitHub solution code. Alternatively, we've got a hosted version that's available as well, where we can host the code for you, and it's a simple step of administrator installing and activating the application in your Teams instance. When you do the initial installation, it doesn't share any information outside of your organization. So you can install it and use it as a powerful search address book within your own organization. Then, having installed it, you can choose if you want to expose some of your information or share some of your information with other collaborative agencies that you work with. And so by undertaking a conversation with the administrators from the agencies you want to collaborate with, they can install the application on their side and set up their own parameters. And then you can choose to exchange API keys that enable the information to be shared in a secure way with only parties that you trust. Every individual within the organisation also has the opportunity to opt in or out of sharing their information, depending on how you configure the default settings, and also to choose which profile properties they want to share, and have the ability to share certain information internally within your own agency, as well as setting up their own parameters around what they want to share externally and how much information they want to make visible to third parties who are searching across your directory. So once you've installed it and you've worked with an administrator from the collaborative agencies that you want to work with, you then have a really rich experience within your tenant of being able to search for and refine against and filter down on employees within your own teams, and also to find people that have shared their information from other agencies, all from a single window in a personal app built into Teams. So on that note, I'd love to introduce you to Jeremy, who will run you through a bit of a tour of the application and give a live demo.
Gov Address Book is a custom Teams app that extends people search into other Microsoft 365 tenants, allowing users to search for colleagues within other organizations. The app provides a simple and intelligent search tool. Find anyone in a connected address book just by looking up their name, role, or email address. To get started, open Gov Address Book from the Teams app catalog or the side rail if it's already installed. If you're loading the app for the first time, you'll first see a welcome tour. You will then be prompted to review your profile details. Some of your profile details are synchronized from Azure Active Directory. From here, you need to publish your profile in order to be found on Gov Address Book. You can also skip this process temporarily and receive Teams activity feed reminders every couple of days. Once your profile is published, you can begin searching for other people. Enter your search query in the text box and select the organization you want to search. Search is flexible and powerful. You can search for users by name, role, phone number, or email address. You can also refine a large list of results by job title or department name. Search is also intelligent and can understand who you are looking for even if you misspelled their name. From the search results page, you can save contacts to your favourites list, making it easier to reconnect with them later. Gov Address Book makes it easy to use Teams to connect and collaborate. Use the purple buttons at the top of the profile page to quickly start a Teams audio call, video call, chat, or schedule a meeting. You can also call a phone number directly within Teams if you've been assigned a Teams calling license. If someone has their presence set to out of office, their profile will display a small indicator below their profile image. If you need to share someone's details, you can quickly save their contact details to your clipboard, where you can paste it into an email or a chat. Editing your profile is easy and quick. Open your profile from the My Profile tab or click the Edit Profile button on the Search tab. Click the Edit Profile Details link to update your display name, pronouns, and location. Your other profile details will be synchronized from your profile information stored in Azure Active Directory. You can also extend your profile with custom information and set the visibility to be seen only by your internal colleagues or by any Gov Address Book user that can access your organization's address book. Connecting to other instances of Gov Address Book couldn't be more simple. To allow another organization to read your address book, first you need to share an API key with them to connect to your app instance. Provide the organization name, and if they have provided their instance's app IP address, you can enter it into this field to restrict access to your API key to only traffic originating from that app instance. Click Save and provide your partner organization with the new API key you've just generated. They will also need your app's external API URL. You can retrieve this from your Gov Address Book Azure resource group. To enable your users to search other address books, you need to establish a new partner connection. To establish a new connection, you'll need an API key and the external API URL of the other instance. Once the new connection has been established, you can now search for people within that address book from the search page.
Thanks, Jeremy, for the tour. Wonderful to see it working and to really highlight some of those key features that we think will make it much easier for you to find the right person within your own organisation, as well as collaborate really easily and effectively with collaborative agencies that you've chosen to partner with to share directory information. To get started from here, we've got a range of options that are available for you. For tech-savvy customers, you can actually just get started now for free, and you can host your own version for free, no charge. The code's available on GitHub, and we'll send out a link for those that are interested, and there's a link in the slides here. This does have some operational cost to run the Azure components in your own tenant. We roughly think it costs on average about 400 Australian dollars per year to operate the directory and cover off the Azure hosting costs. We also, as I said earlier, have a hosted option. So if you don't want to install this into your own environment, we can host this for you. And we're certainly looking at doing that for a number of local government customers where we host the infrastructure. You've still got control over your data, and we don't access any of your data, but we host the infrastructure and plumb the connections together into your own Teams instance, as well as connecting you in with the right other partner agencies that you want to collaborate with. We then offer the option to support with launch and lots of different launch services that we can help you with if you like. That can include extending the application to build out new capability and different features and functionality if you want to, as well as providing tech documentation and helping you to navigate through the deployment process to ensure that you can undertake your IT change management processes and navigate through the deployment process of first launching this to a smallish audience to test it out and trial, and then potentially opening it up and starting to roll it out to more users. And finally, we offer a range of managed support options to help you operate the solution, ensure that you stay up to date and current and secure, and optionally to expand upon the solution's capability in the future. So if you're interested, please feel free to reach out. Our email address there, have a look at the sample code on GitHub. And if you'd like more help, we'd be more than happy to jump on a call and run through what the next steps could look like. And we hope that you have a great time testing out Gov Address Book, that it's it fits the need for you. If there are different use cases or examples of problems that you've started to think about solving with the application, please feel free to reach out, and we'd love to hear feedback from you. It's been wonderful presenting to you, and I look forward to talking more with you all.